I want to thank all of you in New Hampshire on behalf of my wife and my daughter and I for taking us into your homes and your hearts, for giving us a listening ear, for sharing your problems and your pain, your hopes and your dreams. I've done everything I could to bring before you an aggressive national economic strategy that will renew a sense of common purpose and give us all a chance to win again as Americans. I've done everything I could to explain to you that I spent 11 long years on the firing line making the decisions America needs to make today. How can we put our house in order and get good jobs and educate our people and provide health care and solve social problems and pull our country together to compete and win again? I hope you'll take a few more moments to look at this tape and to carefully ponder your decision. I want to be your president. I want you to be Americans. I want to renew the American dream. Together we can do that.
This is the story of a young man born in a small town called Hope, Arkansas. The son of a widow who taught him that anything was possible with hard work, faith, and determination. This is the real story of Bill Clinton. He worked his way through Georgetown and Yale Law School, became a Rhodes Scholar, and then set out to make a difference for others. In one of the poorest states in our country, and against all odds, made progress. First, he tackled the schools, standards, accountability, smaller class sizes, and now the highest graduation rate in the region. Built the economy, one of the highest growth rates in new jobs of any state in the nation. Manufacturing jobs created at 10 times the national rate. It isn't a miracle, it's just progress, and a bit of hope. He speaks to the needs of common people. He's very believable. It's not just rhetoric. If I were George Bush, I'd be scared. Bill Clinton can win.
I'm running because I can't stand what's happening to my country and to the hard-working people who've always made it great. For more than 10 years, the American people have been governed by folks who only looked at the short run and the quick buck, who were too greedy for themselves and their special interest friends. Now the middle class is going downhill, even though it's working harder and poverty is exploding. Even the Japanese Prime Minister said he felt sympathy for the United States. There's nothing wrong with our people. It's our leaders who failed us. I got into politics to change people's lives for the better. And for 11 years, I've worked to do that, for better jobs and better education, for health care, to solve social problems. Those are the things we need in a president today. We've got to put our own house in order and restore the middle class, reduce poverty, bring this country together again. I've got a fine national economic strategy for the short and the long run. But in the end, a plan is just a piece of paper. To make it change lives, you need leadership and vision and action. That's been the work of my life, and that's why I'm running for president. The people of New Hampshire know better than anyone. America's in trouble. Our people are really hurting. In the 80s, the rich got richer, the middle class declined, poverty exploded. Politicians in Washington raised their pay and pointed fingers, but no one took responsibility. It's time we had a president who cares, who takes responsibility, who has a plan for change. I'm Bill Clinton, and I believe you deserve more than 30-second ads or vague promises. That's why I've offered a comprehensive plan to get our economy moving again, to take care of our own people and regain our economic leadership. It starts with a tax cut for the middle class and asks the rich to pay their fair share again. It includes national health insurance, a major investment in education, training for our workers, tough trade laws, and no more tax breaks for corporations to move our jobs overseas. Take a look at our plan and let me know what you think. I hope you'll join us in this crusade for change. Together, we can put government back on the side of the forgotten middle class and restore the American dream. This election is about change. Change in our party, change in our leadership, change in our nation.
Bill Clinton has the heart, the talent, the vision for the job. Governor Clinton entered the presidential race, pledging to fight for the forgotten middle class. He's talking about what average people are concerned about.
I refuse to be part of a generation of Americans that fails to compete in the global economy and so condemns hard-working, middle-class Americans to a lifetime of struggle without reward or security. That is why I come here today, because I refuse to stand by and let our children become part of the first generation of Americans to do worse than their parents. I don't want my child or your children to grow up in a country that is coming apart instead of coming together.
Clinton's message is new, young, moderate. The Philadelphia Inquirer calls him the moderate radical, saying Bill Clinton has sizzle and substance.
For 12 years, the Republicans have been telling us at the national level that America's problems are not their problem. They've washed their hands of responsibility for the economy, for education, for health care, for social policy. They've given it all to the 50 states and the 1,000 points of light. Well, here in Arkansas, we've worked real hard against very steep odds to create more jobs and educate our people. And every one of us, in our own way, has tried to be one of those 1,000 points of light. But I can tell you, my friends, when there is no national vision, no national leadership, no national direction, 1,000 points of light leaves a lot of darkness. I believe with all my heart that together we can rekindle that American dream. We can usher in a new era of progress, prosperity, and renewal, an era of opportunity greater than anything any generation of Americans has ever known. We've got to invest more money in the emerging technologies that create high-paying, good jobs. We have to convert our economy from a defense to a domestic engine of prosperity. We've got to expand world trade and break down barriers, but we've got to demand fair trade practices from our trading partners too. The American people don't want to run from the world. They want to compete and win, and we need to make it possible for them to do that. But let's not forget who the most irresponsible people of all were in the 1980s. They were not the people on the bottom. They were not the people in the middle who were forgotten. They were the people at the top of the totem pole. You know it as well as I do. This is my message to our business community. As president, I'll do everything I can to make it easier for your company to compete in the world with a better trained workforce, cooperation between labor and management, fair and strong trade policies, and incentives to invest here in America and our own economic growth. But if I do that, I expect the jet setters and the feather bedders of corporate America to know that if you sell your companies and your workers and your country down the river, you'll be called on the carpet. That's what the president's bully pulpit is for. For many Americans, the rising cost of health care is the #1 fear they face on a daily basis. Opportunity for All means reforming the most expensive health care system in the world to control cost, improve quality, expand preventive and long-term care, maintain the choice that consumers have, and cover everybody. We can do these things without breaking the taxpayers. But we do have to take on the big insurance companies and the healthcare bureaucracies and demand some real cost control in the American healthcare system. Opportunity for all means world-class skills and world-class education, not just photo ops and empty rhetoric. I know Americans worry about the quality of education in this country and want the best for their children. It's not enough just to put money in schools. We have to challenge our schools to produce and insist on results. I want to establish in this country a voluntary system of national service. In a Clinton administration, we will put forth a domestic GI Bill that will say to any middle class or low income person, we want you to go to college. We'll provide the money for you to go to college. It'll be the best money the taxpayers ever spent. But you've got to pay it back either as a small percentage of your income over time or with 2 or 3 years of national service where we need it, here at home, as teachers, as policemen, as nurses, as family service workers. This new covenant should begin in Washington. Congress raised its pay and guarded its perks while most Americans were working harder for less money. 2 Republican presidents elected on a promise of fiscal responsibility advanced budget proposals that more than tripled our national debt. Congress went along with that too. Taxes were lowered on the wealthiest people whose incomes were rising and raised on middle-class families as their incomes fell. There's a hole in our politics where our sense of common purpose used to be. but Democrats who want to change the government, who want the government to do more, and I'm one of them, we have a heavy responsibility to show that we're going to spend the taxpayers' money wisely and with discipline. I want the American people to know that a Clinton administration will defend our national interests abroad, put our finest values into our social policy at home, and spend our tax dollars with discipline. This is not just a campaign for the presidency. It is a campaign for the future, for the forgotten, hard-working people of America, for their children, for all of those who deserve a government that's on their side, fighting for a better tomorrow. It's a campaign to make us strong at home and abroad. I ask you to join with us today, to give me your hands and your hearts, to give me your prayers and your help. I believe that together we can make America great again. And with your help, your heart, your devotion, and your efforts, we can build a community of hope that will inspire the world. Nobody gets to decide what this election's about but you. You and the people of New Hampshire.
And that's why Bill Clinton is fighting for the people.
I think it's about making America work again and win again.
To return this campaign to us.
I think it's about poverty and unemployment and sickness and division. And it's about your future.
To the real problems we face, the jobs we need, the homes we want back, the medical care we've got to have.
I want you to send a message to this country about what kind of country we're going to have, about what kind of future you want, about what kind of leadership you believe in, and about how we can win again. Thank you very much.
This is the time. New Hampshire is the place. This is our country. Let's take it back.